Yo, we are back for another episode of Let's Discuss. I am Hella Laced, and Word, if you can introduce our special guest.
What's going on? It's Word Customs in the building, your favorite customizer, and we have our very special guest. If everybody doesn't know this man, you should know this man, the homie, Mr. Miller.
Salute, ladies. Good evening.
Thank you for joining us, good sir.
Appreciate the invite.
So,
there's that other one up there.
Oh, me. It's my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least, you know me, Caramel Wonder, a.k.a. Dani Nicole. And let's get into it.
A.k.a. let's get ready to tie-dye.
Do we want to start off with the Verzuz Battles? Dani, that is your expertise.
Oh, yeah. A-Keys and John Legend. That was the last Verzuz battle that aired. It was classic. It was a little weird because they was dancing and it wasn't on beat, so I don't know if they was not hearing what we was hearing. But I was definitely in here jamming. Word was telling me to sit my behind down. I was about to start burning some incense because Lord, it was spiritual up in here. Spiritual.
That thing was everything. I think that their verses was everything we needed, like during this time. Like
yes.
It was almost like church without being church. Like it was just a whole vibe. And I didn't even there are like some songs I didn't even know that John Legend like wrote or produced on and stuff like that. It was crazy. But it was such a vibe. I mean, watching him move though is very awkward. Like I'm trying to imagine going to like a cookout with him. And he's just like, Uncle, sit down. Always doing some shit.
He's definitely that uncle at the cookout that you be like, yeah, nah, have a seat.
Like, y'all don't know about this. Y'all don't know about this.
I've seen both of them in concert. I've seen Alicia Keys at the Prudential in Newark. Excellent show. That girl is amazing on the piano, on the keyboard, whatever. She's nasty on the keys. The same thing with John Legend. I saw him at an outdoor concert in Coney Island. And he's a bad man on the keyboard as well, nasty on the keys. So I knew this was gonna be great. It was gonna be amazing. They didn't do the numbers that some of the other hyper artists have done, but they still hit numbers. Everybody was in there vibing. It almost wasn't even like it was a battle. Everybody was just in it, just vibing and having a good time. So looking forward to more Verzuz battles. We have another one that's coming up. I know everybody's been talking about it. You know, Jadakiss and Fab. I love both of them, but I'm gonna have to go with Kiss on this one. We're probably gonna disagree with me on that.
I mean, I rock with Kiss, but Fab, Fab, that's like my whole 18 and up, Fab mixtapes, just Fab with the oversized jerseys, Harlem shaking on the trains, Fab is that guy. He's that guy for the culture too. I mean, his clothing game, his sneakers game, all of that. He's an icon.
He definitely got the fashion on lock, cause Kiss ain't it, but
he a regular.
When it comes to the boss, I feel like Kiss, he got the perfect voice for just spitting fire. I feel like his voice, the way he sounds, the grittiness of his tender and his voice, it just flows over just like any beat. So that he gets me every time. But I love Fab as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting battle just because I think ever since they signed that deal with Puff, it kind of hurt everybody in the locks because they missed out on a whole about a decade of music they could make because Puff had them on lock.
Yep.
And, Fab kind of took off with, when he got signed to Def Jam, thanks to Hov. And, he built a catalog, but Jada was known in the streets. Like when you thought about like when he was on people's verses around that time, he wasn't taking no prisoners. Like everything that man was touching, that goes for the whole locks. Everything that man was touching was bringing a whole dynamic to the rap game, and you know he solidified his place as one of the greatest lyricists because they was spit all them boys, Sheik, Luch, and Ghost they all was spitting. So I'm curious to see what they choose because it's all about the selection. You know, it's not really about your catalog, and as we saw with the RZA versus Premier, it's about who's going first and who plays off each other. So I think it'll be a great battle, honestly.
Right. Or is it going to be fair for him to use? Like, is he going to be using only his stuff, like his features and his solo, or is he going to use the lock stuff?
Well, you got to think though,
it's features. It's gonna
it's going to have everything. To be features for Jada because Jada has only dropped, if my memory serves correctly, 3 albums, 3 solo albums. So you know, Fab is on Def Jam. I know he has at least 5.
His mixtapes alone, he got a whole 5 shows worth.
His mixtape. So I hope I don't know. It's gonna
Summertime Shootout.
I don't care what kind of rules they set. Just y'all be prepared to have the killer verses. Because now if I'm gonna rate it for lyrics, I'm definitely going Jada. Like I'm not even gonna. I like Fab. Fab is a solid MC. He can. He can
got punchlines, but
when stuff got to get grimy. Jada.
Facts.
It's gonna be interesting. It's going down tomorrow at 8:00 on Verzuz TV on Instagram. You can if you have an Apple device, iPad, iPhone, whatever, you can watch it on Apple TV. It streams live there. They've already dropped the cheat sheet, so you can even go and see what songs they're going to be playing if you want to, just research that and look it up. But I'm gonna definitely be in here turned up. It's about to be a movie in here.
With her 4X jersey.
I still think that the T-Pain and Little John has been the best versus battle. Like there's nothing that I've seen so far that can beat what they did.
I think when it comes to like turning up, yes, that probably was the best one. Like Erykah Badu and Jill Scott was definitely spiritual. Like we was in here burning sage and shit. We was getting rid of the demons. But when it comes to turning up, I definitely think that probably was the best one because even the little boy was in here lit. Word had him recording on Instagram.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one because you got to think it's all about the time when they actually were. When everything was hot. And you got to think Lil Jon was touching for about 3 summers. He was touching everything. Everything that didn't come, if it didn't come from him, nobody was in the club banging to it. And T-Pain had his own, he was the first one that literally had the auto-tunes that actually made that joint fire. And then it shocked everybody, the fact when he turned it off and he won
and he could sing for real.
And it was really him singing. I mean, and then he dropped the album next day. But I have to agree with you, Hella. Like that one was like that was fun. That was like yes.
That one I honestly go back on YouTube and I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
It was that good. I think Q said Babyface and Teddy was good. It was when it worked. But I feel like everything leading up to their battle that worked, I was like over it by the time they actually had the battle.
Right. Yeah. It was so much build up and so much technical difficulties. And just like Babyface, like it was literally like watching your grandfather's friends try to work some technology and play music. Like the music was classic.
Turn it up.
They needed somebody to just play it for
right.
And like Babyface was so serious. Like Babyface was just so serious. Like, this one reminds me of when me and Michael we used to chill on the like. I'm like, what is happening right now?
But it was honestly that was one of the most uneven battles because Babyface has done a circle around genres twice.
Yeah.
Teddy Riley, you stop remembering him after the New Jack Swing. His catalog just kind of, but then he did little bitty things. But Babyface was like the full circle around catalog. So I was like, man, this is a mismatch. and
right.
it's just a mismatch.
Yep.
To me, it was like it hyped me up, like Teddy Riley, and then it was like, so I don't even want to do this right now.
Right.
I don't
Right.
even want to do this.
It was mismatched. It was mismatched like Manny Fresh and Scott Storch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
that
Scott
was a
Storch has done
mismatch.
too much.
Yeah,
And Manny Fresh, he had some bangers with his peeps, but he wasn't out here doing Scott Storch. Like Scott Storch should have battled Jermaine Dupri or something.
I don't even know if he should have done that. I mean, Jermaine Dupri has a decent catalog. I honestly think Jermaine Dupri's overhyped from what he was. I mean, he's just overhyped.
Yeah.
Like,
but he might have been the closest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, no disrespect to Jermaine Dupri, but I just don't think his catalog holds up to like we talking about some of the. When we think about verses, I'm thinking of You Gotta Be Here. And Jermaine's catalog is pretty deep, but I just don't know. I don't know. I have my convictions about him.
I'm still trying to get an answer to how he was dating Janet Jackson.
Okay, that's why I was getting ready to say that. I said I'm a little biased because he was dating Janet
Y'all
Jackson.
petty?
So, yeah, I'm a little biased to that. Because if he had a shot, I had a shot.
that part.
Y'all petty?
I got my petty pants on, man. I'm like, no, Janet. No, if he get a shot, I get a shot.
So we're gonna see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So Jadakiss and Fab tomorrow at 8, and I'm hoping Usher and Chris is coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, that would be nice.
With me.
I mean,
that would be nice.
How Dani said it, Usher and Breezy on the R&B only, but Breezy is really a Drake, but he's more singing than rapping. So honestly, Breezy and Drake are the only two that can go combat each other as far as catalog. I think that would be a great battle. But
yeah, I would love to see that, just because Usher was such a force when he was running it. I mean, he could do no wrong with nothing, and he was probably one of the first of our generation to really express his feelings of what he was going through with Let It Burn and all the stuff he was going through with Chili. And he was letting all that stuff out on the albums, and we was just like, is he telling us everything? Like, he's telling us everything. And that was probably the first one you could think of around that time that actually music was, you got an inside look at what stars probably wouldn't do until months after stuff happens. And he was probably the first
I've seen him in concert too. I seen Usher in concert, and I seen Breezy. I seen Usher at the Pru. He was another one that puts on like a show, like how Breezy puts on the show, jumping off the stage, flying through the crowd. That was Usher back then, before Breezy took off. So it's kind of like Usher and Breezy are almost like the same person, just in different times.
Yep, I can see that. Good assessment on that.
For sure.
What are we talking about Diddy for?
Everybody, can he pay Mace though? Can he pay Mace though? I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm gonna say this about Diddy. Diddy is a shady dude. Diddy is shady because a lot of his deals early was real shady, and the masters, the music royalties, like the deals he was writing, as much as Puff has done for the community, with Revolt and some, him starting to buy the NFL team, like he's done a lot of good things, but he has not paid his penance for what he's done to a lot of good people. Mace being one of them. I still don't forgive him for the locks because he derailed their whole career. That they'll never be able to recoup what they should have recouped from being able to drop music and be handcuffed. And then with Mace, same thing. Like Mace is the exact same thing. Like you got money, you're constantly in the top 5 and Forbes. Like like if I got your money, why can't you just give it to me? Like why I gotta fight and make it public? You got my money, dog. Like just I don't know, man. Diddy is a great guy, but I just think his business practices are questionable, very questionable, and he's never owned up to that. And I think in order for him to go further and to take another step with his business, he's got to, especially with black people, He's got to pay up on that. That's just me.
And it makes you wonder if like all the things that are now going wrong in his life are because of all that. Like, you know, losing Kim, losing Cassie, who is now happy with someone else and having a baby. Like,
and she
like
stuck
you
around
can't get your
stuff.
Right. Like, you just can't get your personal life right. You don't think that's karma, brother? Like, do something about it, man. Like, you got enough money to give up what you should have done, make it right.
6-7 kids down the road, right?
Okay. It is what it is.
So what are we moving on to now?
Want to talk about the tie-dye contest? Word?
Oh, yeah. So, shout out to Soul Play Atlanta. They did a pretty dope thing. You know, they did a raffle contest for the women only for the tie-dye ones, where you had to tie-dye some items, an item, in order to enter the raffle. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool, pretty creative. Right off the bat, like right as soon as they posted, a lot of dudes were mad, posted sexist, and are you gonna do the guys? Like, it's so funny because every time they do a women's thing and they want to include women only, the guys get mad and say, well, for the men's, are you gonna do men's? And I can understand it, but at the same time, it's very rare that people do that for the women's releases. Like, I've only seen a couple of women's releases where people were really doing women only. For the most part, any other time, they let men and women buy the shoes. So it's like there's so many other. It's one store. Like, they were just like, oh, this is sexist and it's unfair and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, come on. With that being said, I still didn't get my pair. So
Me either.
Totally upset.
I think
my fate is in the hands of sneakers.
I think. Oh gosh, don't say that. We're all,
but I'm definitely not getting my pair.
Right. I think that because in the past, I don't want to say we, but there's a lot of women who have made a big deal about, you know, women's releases and men buying them to resell to them. But we also have to remember that, like, for the longest, we were us women were having to buy GS sizes or men's sizes. So, and lately we're seeing a lot of the men's shoes releasing in the smaller size runs, like they'll start at 4 or whatever. But I don't think it's something that people have to say is sexist, because if a shoe is, you know, designed for women, then they're going to do something that's based on women. I mean, if a guy wants to go ahead and get his size because it's made in his size, then go ahead. It's just the whole buying to resell to women is what bothers me.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think it's backwards. I don't think any man should say anything about a store doing that. That's not right. We get enough releases that's solely to us. We need to play our role in this situation and say, okay, if they're doing that to take care of, because it's classified, anytime it says WMNS, we shouldn't have a say in what a retailer does with that shoe. If it wants to take care of one of the most important fixtures, which is the female sneakerhead, take care of them. We should not be down. We should not be talking bad to them. That's wrong. And anybody says it's sexist don't even know what the word means when you're saying it's sexist. I think you a clown if you say that anyway. So no, that you should be taken care of. That's your shoe. I can't wear a woman's size shoe unless it goes above a 13 or whatever. And there's been some releases that I wanted, but I'm not gonna step over a woman pair to get, huh?
Oh, I was saying hi to somebody.
I said, I'm not gonna step over a woman to get my pair. I mean, it's a woman's shoe, so I don't like that. I hate that for y'all. I'm sorry.
I mean, at the end of the day, when the men's shoes do release, for the most part, most women wear GS, so it's not even affecting your pair. Yeah. Like, I mean, I wear a men's size. I wear a men's 9.5. So yeah, I'm having men's sizes, but like Dani's a 5.5, so she's getting grade school. So if that men's size doesn't come into grade school, she's not getting it anyway. So it's not affecting what you can get. Yeah. So I don't understand what's the point to complain. Like you said, women only get certain releases. Like I don't even know if those red 14s are coming out in grade school, because I haven't seen it anywhere. Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, mm-hmm. I didn't see it on Nike.
Finish Line had a raffle for them.
Oh,
Well, if it's up the finish line, good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, pretty much everybody knows I love my LeBrons, and LeBrons are mostly in men's sizing. And lucky for me, I can fit a men's 7. If I'm pushing it, I'll buy a men's 8 and wear thick socks. But my inbox gets a little crazy every time I post a pair of LeBrons because people are like, well, weren't you the one who said that men shouldn't be buying women's shoes? It's like, no, I never said that. What I said was I do not agree with men buying women's shoes to resell to women. I don't care who buys what, but I just think it's funny when guys are in my inbox like, oh, you bought a men's shoe. Well,
right.
Oh, well.
That's what they misconstrue. Like, we don't want you to not have the shoe. If you like the shoe, buy the shoe. Just not to resell. Like, buy it for foot. Because people, like all the satin ones and stuff, I know people love ones. So I'm going to, assume there's a lot of guys who want those. But just don't. Yeah. I mean, I have my opinions on certain women's shoes that guys shouldn't buy. But, who am I to judge? Like, I was over the moon with those pink 12s, those pink and white 12s. How many guys got those?
And I shook my head when I saw DJ Envy rocking those. It was a no. That was a no. That was a no.
Fighting over that shoe.
You knew better. And big shout out to Hella if they in your inbox, you got their attention. So big shout out to you. They got to remember what you said.
My thing is none of them are my size. I think the only guy I know on Instagram that is my size is Coffee with the Foe. I think we're the same size. So unless you're him, don't be in my inbox talking about you buying men's shoes because I'm not buying your size. I'm buying my size.
Right.
I'm in my own lane. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. But also I feel like Nike screwed us because I was checking the app the night before they were supposed to release. And I saw that they were pushed back. I was like, for real? You're pushing it back to a Monday? I got to work in the morning on Monday. And now I got to wake up to buy these shoes that you push back. I mean, I really just want the LeBrons, of course. But we have the LeBrons. We have the ones. We have the duck camos, the orange ones. All of those are releasing at the same time, same day. And Sneakers thinks that they're going to be able to handle those three big releases.
Not gonna happen.
I'm already mad because when you separate any store from the other stores, it makes it that much harder because most people I feel like tend to go after sneakers first and then worry about secondary stores after. But now everybody can focus on sneakers on Monday, and it's like if you're screwed when there's other options, you're definitely screwed now when there's only one.
Right.
So I mean, thankfully I got my bronze, so I'll be helping out Hella. Oh, you rolled your eyes. Maybe I won't be helping out Hella. But it is what it is. I'm trying for the tie dyes, but I ain't paying resale because my size over 330 right now.
Well, shout out to Bronze for telling me the 14s dropped the other day, even though I missed them. She told me about it.
Yeah, we did miss it. The UK. What are you gonna do?
I'm looking at everybody's opinion about
sneakers has been trash. I'm already biting my tongue for that L on the red and white ones. Dunk lows are.
Well, I have to say I did finally get my Nike Air Tech Challenges 2 Black Lava. So
I saw
that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna be quiet. Like Nike knows what to shut me the hell up. Like,
right?
Because I'm gonna be quiet. Because I damn sure tweeted them heavy and emailed them about like there's no reason why you did this to me. I didn't deserve this. And them suckers dropped, and that sucker went right through. I was like, yes. Yeah. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all. I can't say nothing right now because Nike might be watching this. They like you say something stupid right now. Put you back on that ban list.
Sound like me tweeting Shoe Palace. Shoe Palace is canceled. They are canceled.
Oh yeah, go ahead and tell everybody about that.
They ruined my weekend. So, and anybody who's trying on Shoe Palace knows the runaround you get with that stupid stopwatch that pops up and makes you wait 2 minutes. So the last time I literally got through on Shoe Palace was the Latin History Month ones, and that tells you how long ago that was. So here I am clicking, and 5 minutes into the release, I get through because it's spinning, and I'm like, what is it doing? And then I see it's in my cart, to my surprise. So I go through, try to pay with my card. It does some weird thing. So then I try to pay with PayPal. It does another weird thing. I'm like, oh boy, it's about to be out my cart. So I go through again. I was like, all right, let me try my card one more time. Get a confirmation. Get the email. I'm like, oh my God, I got my pair. I'm so excited. Too hyped. So later on that day, I had to go to the doctor. I'm sitting in the doctor's office and I see an email come through. I'm like, oh, they shipped already? I look and that junk says your payment was declined. We have to refund. Like, bro, the money is out of my account already. How was my payment declined?
Oh.
I immediately get on the phone.
No, they
I call them.
oversold.
Right. I call them up. I'm like, yo, here's my order number. I just got this email, blah, 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 whatever. She's like, yeah, we use a third-party payment and your payment was declined. I was like, so y'all payments declined 5 hours after your purchase? I was like, that's some new, because I was like, the money ain't in my account. It's still not in my account. Like, so I don't know. I'm just living with them. Like, I'm trying to tell her, I'm like, well, let me speak to somebody. I'm like, if it decline, like, I was like, just send me an invoice, whatever. I'll pay a PayPal invoice. She's like, yeah, if you use PayPal, it'll go through faster, whatever. I'm like, well, send me an invoice. She's like, unfortunately, when you're declined, it goes back into the pool, yada, yada, yada. She's like, you wait 24 to 48 hours, it'll pop back up. I'm like, yo, this is a sold out shoe. I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, let me speak to a manager. She's like, unfortunately, our manager is in the warehouse helping with orders because we had a major release today. Like, yeah, this is the release I'm calling you about. What are you talking about?
Somebody sees my size.
I'm like, are you crazy? So I'm just like, I'm arguing, and clearly she's reading from a script. I'm like, I'm not gonna go get anywhere. She banged on her. I was like, forget it. So then later on, I come home, and what do? They restock every size. Every size. Can I get through? Of course not. Like, I'm done with Shoe Palace. As soon as I get the opportunity to attend the Shoe Palace store, I'm knocking everything in that store off of the racks. That's it. I'm going to jail. I'm not going to forget. I've been tweeting them every day. I'm going to tweet them every 3 hours, every day, until somebody fixes this.
Let that hurt go, boo-boo.
I don't want to talk about it no more. Let's move on. Let's just move on.
Okay, so while word is cooling down about her Shoe Palace mishap, I am going to get into my sneaker corner subject. And as you guys know, I am the list queen. And so we are going to be talking about a list. It is the top 10 best sneaker collaborations of 2020 so far. And I think Complex does this every quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So let me start this so I can show you guys. I think this is a pretty good list.
Oh, okay, we got a good list this time.
Yeah, I think so. So it's going from 10 to 1, just so you guys know. We're working backwards here. So number 10 is
10 to 1. Okay.
The Supreme X Nike Air Force One Low.
Now, what are these collabs based off of?
On the list, I'm like,
yeah.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what they base the best collabs off of sales, or because I mean, it's Supreme. Anything Supreme is gonna sell, but it's so simple. Like it was just like the Air Force One High that they did. With the world, with all the stuff on, like that one was dope. But this is just so simple.
Super simple.
I can make that. Send me your Air Force. I'll put it on there for you.
Bet, I got you. It'll be at your house next week. Number 9, the Melody Isani and Jordan OG. I love these.
Yeah, I think they're pretty
good. These.
I do too. I like those. If I can fit those, I'm rocking those.
I love her attention to detail on the shoe. I think it's well crafted, and I think the extra laces that were included, the reflective laces that were included, were super dope to me. And then I don't know if you guys know, but the piping on the shoe is also reflective. So when you take pictures with the flash, it actually looks really dope.
Even that cherry's dope.
Yeah. And it's heavy. It's quality.
Yes.
The next one is Strange Love X Nike SB Low. Dunk Low.
Definitely Fire
Lord,
Flame.
this was a crazy.
It was pretty
Yeah.
fire for like a velvet shoe.
It was.
Like, I would never imagine to get a velvet shoe, but it is definitely dope.
Yeah, that's clean.
yeah.
I did a raffle on those, and the quality on those are A1. Yeah.
Even with the velvet, is it velvet and suede, or
it
is
looks
it all
like
velvet?
it's uber soft.
Yeah, it's
It
real.
looks like
yes.
it looks like
velvet
the
and
dark
suede.
pink is
It's velvet and suede. The white part is the velvet. But it's
I
clean.
wanted them so bad.
Yeah, they dope.
When I saw people lining up like 5 days before in like Japan or wherever, I knew it was a dub.
Yep.
Well, the skate shops in the Bay Area, we have a whole bunch of them, and pretty much every one of them will get at least a size run. But these released at the wrong time, so you know, a lot of our shops didn't even like release them in store. They did the cop date release,
Right.
so
Which is
almost impossible to get. The next one is.
I hate that app. I deleted it.
Oh yeah, it's not very useful, at least for me. Do we even need to talk about these? I mean, they just look like regular dad shoes to me.
Right, but they're probably like $300. I never understand.
There probably are $300.
The next one is a Travis Scott Air Max 270 React. I love these from the very beginning.
You definitely did. You were caping for them.
I'm
not a fan personally. I don't think they're horrible, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
It looks just like a 270. Like, I don't understand why people saying they were ugly.
Those
like
aren't for me either. Like,
yeah,
I think they missed them. Go ahead.
A lot of people who didn't like the 270s ended up like either hitting on these for resale or hitting on them, and then they were like, "Oh my god, these are so dope."
I think they I think they missed it. I just think they just missed like the Travis Scott. Look at all his line, and then they gave you this, and I think they missed it. I don't think they missed it. I think we were overly expecting something different, and when he gave you something that is like you were saying, hella like exactly what he wanted to execute. A lot of us, myself, were like, you missed it. Like, this is all you gave us in that. Like, it wasn't. I don't know. I think the advertising was executed perfectly for what he wanted with that shoe, with the website, where he went with it, all that. But I think the shoe missed something for me. But I hear people say they didn't like them, but they got them in hand and they were like, "No, I'm keeping these."
Right.
I don't know if a lot of people know, but the craftsmanship on these shoes is so dope. Every single one of the soles there's an antique process that they go through. So I believe the shoe comes with a card that tells you not to get the sole wet, and if you need to clean them, it tells you to just kind of dab it with a cloth, but it tells you not to clean it. And I think, to me, it's kind of a high maintenance type of thing, but I don't wear my shoes that often to care much. But I just think that like process done on the soles is pretty dope. I think Dani's pulling hers out.
Right, we got to show off now.
Right.
I'm gonna throw some water on her midsole now.
Babe, we heard that paper. You ain't slick.
Right.
Right. Look
at her. Muted it.
Boo.
Right.
Boo.
Hold on. Show it again. One more time.
Like your foggy air bubble. Get him off the screen. Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, you can put them back now.
I'm gonna sell them and get my Travis Sixes.
No.
There goes another dad shoe. I don't know. The hill.
Was this the one at Was this
Joe
the one at All Star weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, I seen a lot of people going for these.
I saw a lot of people going for these. Not my cup of tea. I think that heel kind of kills it for me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that Balenciaga chunky thing doesn't do it for me.
Colorway is dope, but
I like the colors and the materials. I hated this. So many people, these were terrible to me.
I like it. I'm sorry. That joint.
It looks like something out of Aliens.
Body. I like
it because it's different.
Yeah, but it's a
I like
little
the
too
second
different
one.
for my taste. That's just me.
Yeah, I like it because it was
It
odd.
looks like
It was just odd. Like when I first saw it, I was
Aliens
like, why
versus
are y'all
Predator.
bringing this back? But I like them. I like them.
Okay, the next one is
Which number are we on?
Yeah, I'm about to say, what number is this?
This is number 2.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh, wow.
no, this is number 3.
It's
This is number 3.
Oh,
So we're getting into the top 3.
This
I
is
cannot
number
comment
3.
on this shoe.
I wanted these so bad too,
Yeah.
and I tried my hardest for these, but I wasn't willing to pay that
Yeah,
retail.
I'm not.
I
I
got-
want you
I got
not to
robbed.
comment on this shoe because I missed it. That no, I can't even talk. This I can't carry on.
I hit on it on Premiere. I never bought all of my dunks that have came from Premiere were his cop from me. I didn't even have an account for Premiere. So when this was releasing, I set myself up for a Premiere account, went in and did the whole raffle thing for this, and I think I was getting my nails done. And word was home. I was coming back in the door, and I was like, "Hey, I got an invoice from Premiere for the." She was.
If I could have pushed her out the door and locked it.
But I got the shoe in hand. It was a 5.5 because I wear 5.5 in dunk clothes. And the toe box on that shoe is just, it ain't it. It was not it. It was very flimsy. It was like paper thin. Like I felt like you was gonna see all your toe knuckles. So if you had corns or
She's exaggerating. I saw her hair in
anything,
person.
a salad going on.
We're not that bad.
It was very thin. It was very thin. It creased the minute you wore them. So yeah, I dumped them. I got rid of them and got something else I wanted.
What'd you get?
What did I buy? I forgot what I bought,
expensive.
but I sold them for $14.90. No, I think I got a couple of pair of shoes because I sold this shoe for $14.90 and picked up a couple of pair of shoes that I wanted.
That's a damn down payment on a car.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Ben and Jerry's.
No.
I wanted these so bad too. I always miss out on the dunk lows though, no matter how hard I try, but I still try.
Yeah.
This one's
whatever.
This one is
like
pretty
any
much
dunk low in my size be ridiculous.
Yeah. I think this one was
same. I'm a size 7.
I think this one was just kind of, man, I love this shoe. I think it was executed to perfection. I think everything they put behind it, they executed. But this showed a lot of people's behind when it came to getting this shoe, whether it was a skate shop, whether it was resellers. You got to see every nick and cranny of how you gonna act. And a lot of people thought we was cool, and we come to find out we ain't cool. Like it was no holds bars. It was about that paper. And I don't think I didn't trust any raffle. I entered 10 or 12. I didn't trust none of them. I didn't trust none of them because I knew.
Right.
I know I have a reseller that owns a shop, and he was saying I was getting calls daily to buy 3 or 4 pairs. I was like,
I had 6 people at work trying for me. 6 people. I made them download the sneak. Enter every raffle. I was like, listen, one of y'all got a hit for me. They don't even know what they entering. They just know that I like shoes, so they entered for me.
Yeah.
And I hit on nothing.
Whatever. I made my own shit.
This pair, especially like I said, the Bay Area has a ton of skate shops that get shoes like this. The 3 that I knew of, they had to have backdoored their pairs because people were willing to spend thousands of dollars on each pair that they could get their hands on. So, I mean, I can't hate on the skate shops for needing to make money at a time like this, but I was just like, damn, I really wanted that.
No, I have to hate on them because if you want to make, I know I would have paid well over 6 times what it was worth I was gonna go up that high. But if you wanted the extra 2 or 3, I mean that's how much they were separating from people were willing to pay, and a lot of these escape shops weren't listening to that, and they weren't trying to expose anybody.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times when they go into giving those back doors, they got to ensure that you will not say a word because they don't want that smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That we all know
Some
how the
speakeasy
game
type shit.
goes. They don't want no blowback. You can't say you're not getting the box, you're not getting the receipt. You just gonna have to give me whatever you want to give me, or you gonna buy this socks that's worth $1,800 or whatever. So we know how that game goes.
Right.
But I think that is sad. I think it should have been. I don't think Nike should knock their hands when a release comes in a situation like this and say, okay, you can sell them at this suggested price, and then say, hey, you won. I've seen raffles that say you'll win the option to buy. Now, what we sell them at is up to us, and dudes won't complain about that. I think Escape Shop should have done that. If you were gonna make $1,500 off of them every pair of shoe, I'm cool with that. But give me the option. Give the community the option to buy. At least give us the option. Don't say nope. I'm going this way when we support y'all just as much as we can. Like we had people that was making us buy $200 worth of clothes to get an option, and you didn't win.
Right.
What's the point in that?
Right. Well, I think when they do that, because like a lot of people complain about that, what it is like if you think about it, how many people just go to these skate shops when something hype comes out, as opposed to the local skaters who support, daily or weekly or whatever. Real skaters, yeah. So they're like, look, we got to make, because talking with Saraji from Sneaker Room, he's one of the only boutiques or one of the few that get the Dornbecker collection. And he makes people, if you're going to get the shoe, you got to get one item of like clothing or a hat or accessory, because they'll sell the shoes and be stuffed with all the merch. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I get it. I understand it. But I mean, if they're going to, if the skate shops want to give it for more money.
If you question those methods, I think you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. And I think if you can understand that, that's fine. And that's the only thing I hate is that I know what y'all are doing. I'm absolutely cool with what you're doing, but you at least got to give me an option. That's all I'm asking. I'm just saying, hey, if it says, hey, I'll give it to you for $1,500, that's up to me to take it. If I pass, I pass. I'm not gonna be mad, but at least give me the option to take my L. I mean, they was just giving L's for no reason.
That's and they can do like a silent auction type thing, because I know Sneaker Room, when they used to do their breast cancer release, the first couple, I think with the Victor Cruises, the pink ones, it was like a silent auction. So you would just send them your bid on how much you're willing to pay, and if you had the highest bid in your size, then you get them. So I mean, even that, because they could raise money for other stuff. Like you don't even have to pocket all the money. You can, I know a lot of skate shops. They did things where they used it to raise money for local skate shops and to give back to like skate club, like Underground in Jersey. They do it for the skate club at Montclair High School and stuff like that. So it's a way to make money. These people want to pay for it. Go ahead, use the money for something good.
I agree.
Yep. Okay. Now, before I even went through this list, I knew that number one was going to be an off-white. What I didn't know is that it was going to be this freaking
shoe. It better not be the 5, bro.
Are you serious?
It better not be the 5. There's no way the 5 is over the double. Bull.
No.
And this is what makes this trash.
Complexes.
I hit on this shoe, and I traded this shoe for 2 other shoes.
That is not. No.
It was not. This was not for me.
No. I think it was a great shoe because I'm old school and I love the vintage look of it with the sole. The quality is on point. It's a dope shoe. The laces set them off if you know how to rock them right. But that is not the number one. That's not even probably in the top 5. Honestly,
I would have put the Ben and Jerry's number 1.
That's number 1.
And it wasn't like these were going for a lot.
No, but that price dropped at the beginning. It was 15. It went to 11, and now it's sitting at a little above 6. So it was they just made a lot of them. That was the thing we weren't expecting, is that they made a lot of this shoe. So they thought it was going to be like a normal limited, and it literally wasn't.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like Mr. Laced Up said, pure. Yeah, it was definitely trade bait. A lot of people were just using that to get other stuff.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
That just
I
ruined the
traded.
whole. I was with the list, and then that just ruined the whole thing.
That's why I had to ask what number we were on. I was like, nah, we should be good.
I mean, I knew number one, like when it comes to those complex lists, I know number one is always going to throw you off. Like, why? So, I mean, they had me till number one. I was like, okay, this is trash now. But
Right.
you know, I like my lists. Word, do you want to do the artist spotlight real quick? I can share
Sure.
the
Yeah.
screen.
So the artist spotlight this week, actually, and it's funny because I just remembered, is Chase Maccini. He's American, but he lives in Australia. He's been out there for quite a while because he was probably the second person that I followed that got me into customs. Like, of course, first it was Mosh, who I used to see all the times at the Funk Flex car shows. And then Chase was probably one of the first YouTubers I saw where he would teach you how to clean, how to do re-glues, how to reshape. He was probably one of the first people who was reshaping runner toe boxes from being curled up to making it look more sleek. And he's been in Australia the whole time, and his YouTube success ended up turning into him getting with the Sneaker Laundry, which is the first, I guess you want to say, drop-off cleaning service in Australia. So they have a storefront where you can drop off your shoes, get cleaned. They do a pickup service where they'll come pick up your shoes and drop them back off to you. He's done a ton of stuff. You know, I was watching him live last night. He was talking about how he got hit up by the owner of Raw Rolling Papers to restore his Balenciaga speed trainers. So, you know, they had their own products for cleaning. He does color matches. Like, he was one of the first people who was restoring the Yeezy V1s, like the Moon Rocks and all that. So he has paint matches for that. He has paint matches for the speed trainer soles, like just a lot of dope stuff. And he does like really, really quality work. Like he's pretty dope. Yeah. He's a dope guy. And he does customs, but not as much, but he'll do a custom here and there. But he's more so a restorer, a rejuvenator.
My man's just putting in work. I need to.
Right. These ones.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at.
This is a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think that people
really drop their shoes off to be cleaned.
Right. Because you remember back in the day, like, look at that, like, and his paint matches, like, he was one of the first people I watched because I absolutely hate paint matching. But his paint matches be like, he used to spend hours, and he was the one who taught me about writing down formula. Like, he would paint match to the point where he would put like a drop of paint and write it down, and then write it down like, okay, I need 3 drops of this and 6 drops of that. Like, he's meticulous with it.
I need him to do my DB4s because you know them muds is cracked up.
Oh yeah, mine is too.
Yeah, I ain't never seen a DB4 with it ain't got no cracks in it. Like,
yeah, I don't have DB4s.
That's like 4s in general.
Yeah, 4s and 3s. 4s and 3s, man, you might as well just repaint them right out the gate to make them last longer. Because they just slap on, that coat of paint. It's like,
ain't no love in it.
So now we are getting into the nitty gritty and why we're
everybody here.
So me and Word, as you guys know, we go live on Instagram randomly, and we were talking about these giveaways that we see pop up on our timeline, and we were also talking about engagement groups, but we were just curious on how these giveaways work. I know each giveaway or each like group that does a giveaway have different rules. It goes, a certain way for each giveaway. So it took us a while to get, our facts together. And we interviewed a couple of people. We interviewed people who have done them, who are doing them. We've interviewed people who are against them. And we also have an article linked in the description box. This is kind of when the controversy of these giveaways started. I don't want to say the article caused the controversy, but the article just addressed it. And so
I think it brought it to the forefront. It definitely
Yeah,
pulled it. It was kind of like whispered, and then it was like this article brought it to your front door.
Yeah,
I know which article.
And this article was posted a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the writer too. Big shout out to the writer too.
Do you want to talk about the giveaways?
Yeah. So for all that don't know, I'll even speak upon the article because the writer, we end up speaking about it because eventually my name was brought up in it. And at that time, I was not doing raffles. And the purpose of raffles is the way it goes is that everybody in the group pays $20, $25 that buys the shoe, including shipping. What we do is we put up 2 or 3 pictures. We have 1 or 2 pictures that we rotate. And all you have to do is follow us and comment. The way I've ran all my raffles and the ones I'm included, we go back on certain times. I set my alarm. I'll go back and look at your comments. I write your name down and your shoe size so you can have. I have to do that on everybody's page that is in the raffle. You have to do that before the second day is up because we don't delete the message, the post. We archive it. So it's always tied to your account. So you can bring it back up. So if anybody says, no, y'all deleting them, nah, we can bring them back up. It's just archived. So once you go through and you get everybody's name, you got to do this every single time. So I go through and I get all your names and your size. You know, Dani, I get all your names, your size. Word, I get all your name. Then I do mine. Then you start chopping them up to how many they have. At that point, you enter everybody's name into a system, or the circle system that everybody uses for the raffle, and you just spin it. And at that point, it picks somebody for that size. Grab the size. We tell you won. There you go. The only thing you have to do is follow the people. Now, the main purpose of how raffles started, because like I said, I was not doing raffles from years when this article was written. I was not doing raffles. I was skeptical of raffles because they were not being forthcoming with the winner. That was a problem because it looked like you were getting all these followers, even though they weren't paying nothing, and then we were never seeing anybody win. And they didn't do that. Right. And that was the main purpose of the article, was saying, why aren't y'all posting the winners? And the problem was that I saw they couldn't produce them. They remembered who they gave it to, but they couldn't come up with them quick enough. It took them a while, and then they finally dropped a few. So I questioned it because I was like, okay, I get it, but where are the winners at? So at that point, things shifted to where they post the winners in some people post it in their stories. I post all my winners that all the raffles I'm in, and I post them on my page, and I do not delete them. So you can go back through all the ones I've been through and see everybody that's won. They're legitimate pages. They're not just like somebody's got 25. They're random people. But that's how because the raffle game was started because when Instagram changes their algorithm and you don't get to see, remember, because y'all been on Instagram a while, where you could go back and you could go to the second page and you could see all the people, what they liked. Y'all remember that?
Right.
You can see all the people that you like, that people were like, you were liking this picture. But when they got rid of that, the actual engagement went down. People were not following people. They were just hitting a like and keeping moving. Or you would get up on a page and nobody would like your stuff, or somebody would like you and never follow you. So the engagement groups were put in there to get the followers up. And basically I see it as an audition for you to stay liking our page, even past that. We do catch a lot of flack because they don't like, some people don't win or they don't understand how it goes. I answer everybody back. So I'm clearing up front and say, hey, okay, I got you. They're like, well, where's it at? And I show them proof. I had nothing to hide. I'm very transparent when it comes to it because my integrity is all I have. So if I lose my integrity, I ain't got nothing. So we tell them up front, you know, this is what we're doing. This is how it's done. There you go. This is how it goes. But the main purpose of an engagement group was to get your followers at a point that it can actually it can get up there, because the following game is different now. People don't follow as much as they used to. And at this point, the only problem with doing these raffles, what I'm learning, is that you can get shadow banned. So right now, I'm shadow banned, meaning that my pictures aren't hitting people's feeds until days or hours after. So I'm missing peak times, peak everything, because at one time I was in 3 raffles. I was running one for myself and then 2 other pages I was helping them out. And my engagement was up. But now I've hit a wall. Like I'm not getting my likes and engagement is not there. And so I know at that point, because I've been shadow banned for like 8 months at one time because I was using too many hashtags. But I know I'm shadow banned. And I don't know directly. I can't say if it's because of the raffles, but a lot of us I can kind of see that are doing it are starting to see their engagement down. It's because Instagram wants you to pay for their advertisement. They don't want you to do this is free advertisement for us. They don't want you to do this yourself. They want you to pay for it. So I'm not going to directly say it is, but I'm starting to question if the raffles that I have been in are starting to catch up to me. And this will be my last one for a while, just because I love, and big shout out to J Soul, because J Soul always invites me, and he's a 100% dude. He has no problem with, you know, I don't question him about doing nothing. That's the only guy I trust to do it with. But I just think that right now, for a page like myself, like I know I'm shadow banned, and it may or may not have something to do with this, but I'm gonna be more cautious and spread out when I do get involved in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we asked a couple people questions. I was gonna put their answers up on the screen, but I don't think I really need to. I'm just kind of gonna read off some of their answers to the questions. But this is a person who is fairly these answers are from somebody who's fairly new to the giveaways. They've done the giveaway on their account. They've participated, so they have a general idea of the giveaways, and not really the blowback, but kind of what it does for their Instagram or against their Instagram. So we asked, why do you participate in the giveaways? And they said, I always felt like it was a way to give back to someone who didn't have a chance to cop a pair I cop, which I pretty much, a lot of people said that, like, they want to be able to give others a chance to get I don't know, say the Flint 13s, because that's the most recent giveaway that I've seen. We asked, do you pay out of pocket to participate? They said yes. The amount ranged from everybody that we interviewed. The amount was anywhere from like $15 to $45. I think it kind of depends on what shoe and what size is the winner, I guess.
And probably how many people are in it.
Yeah. It goes off how many people are in it. If you have 7 or 8 people, you're dividing it by at least. It's the ones I've been in. The most I paid is maybe $43, but that was like, I can't remember what shoe that was. It was a high end one. It was a high end one that was reselling above $300.
It probably was a 1.
Yeah, it was a 1. I can't remember which one it was. But it was high.
We asked if you guys know how the shoes are purchased. This person said they don't know. Are these legit pairs? They said they hope so. How do you know? They don't know. Is there a long-term goal for these giveaways? And this person said, for them, no. They just feel it's a dope enough pair for someone to win. why do you think there is a stigma surrounding these giveaways? This person said, I didn't know until recently there was one. I understand why though. Some people feel they're fake and rigged.
Mhm.
Um, that is pretty much a consensus for everybody who doesn't really know about the giveaway or participate in the giveaways. The next question is, do you think these giveaways are legit? They said, I feel like some of them are.
Mm.
Do you think they are helping your Instagram? And this person says, I feel they have brought new followers to my page who normally wouldn't see my page. I've gotten good engagement on non-giveaway posts. Which kind of brings us into the tie-in of engagement groups, because I myself am in 3 engagement groups. One of them does not allow giveaway posts or accounts in that group at all.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, or the other 2 do. So to me, it's kind of hard to comment on giveaway posts. I mean, all you can really say is good luck to everybody who's entering, but it's hard for me who genuinely, I want to engage on your post, and I can't really
Not
on
that. Yeah.
a giveaway post
Right.
because it's a stock image of a shoe and it's also a giveaway. So for me, those posts are hard to comment or engage with.
Right.
I agree.
Entering
I've been in.
flame emoji.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been in. I'm only currently in one right now. And I've been in others where that's what they wanted to do, and I've always thought that I don't like really doing that because it doesn't bring engagement.
Right.
That's something you're already getting engagement just because of just what you're doing with it. So I don't agree with, if it's an engagement group, you should be doing that. So I mean, even in the engagement group that I'm in now, they did pop that in there, but I never commented. I don't think it's not the purpose of an engagement group. The engagement groups are basically in place to start the algorithm for your post to get seen. I mean, that's the main goal of an engagement group, is to get, when you see that alert go off in the group, it's go to the page, like it, and comment it, so it can, because you can tell what your post is going to do within the first hour.
Yeah.
You know if you're going to have a good post or you're not. So that's the purpose of an engagement group. But the problem is that Instagram is watching the engagement groups. That I've heard from multiple people, that they're watching, that you're posting you can do the share button on your whatchamacallit, and it's literally, they're watching that. So you can put yourself in a position of getting shadow banned that way as well. So I've kind of, for one, not only probably gonna be my last engagement group, or not my last giveaway for a while, but I've kind of taken back from the engagement group and still liking everybody's posts, because everybody in the group I already follow. I'll go through and like and comment all your stuff. I'll give you that. But I'm just trying to get off this shadow ban list, and I'm trying to think of everything that I know Instagram initially really doesn't like, and it doesn't like stuff like this. It doesn't. It wants everything to go through them. I mean, look at Facebook. The facet of Facebook, they've got group meetings. They've got app. They selling. You can buy. You can do all this other stuff. It's so many different levels of Facebook that they control. Instagram is bought by Facebook, and they want to control what we have, where it's not like the old school days when you post, your post was in the system or on the feed. It's not like that anymore. They're nitpicking, and that's my problem with Instagram. If you're not telling us what we're doing wrong, you have no right to do a lot of stuff that you're doing. It's not fair. It's disrespectful. This is supposed to be an open community, and if I've done something wrong, you tell me I did something wrong, let me correct it, or I can be a butt and keep doing it, and then you can take action. But I think it's disrespectful for Instagram to kind of do this to people. I've had it done before, so I'm not complaining, but I think that people that are in shadow ban and they don't know it, I think it's not right for Instagram to sit up there and have these shadow rules, and they don't tell nobody. Okay, you don't want us doing this, then tell us. We'll stop doing it. We're gonna, of course, figure out another way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can't. You know what I'm saying? But you can't keep doing this to people's pages. I don't make no money off Instagram, but I would like to, and I think that my engagement and what I do in my page hurts that. I mean, it hurts my TV show that I do weekly.
Right.
It affects that. So if I'm using that, they're gauging me off me as a person and saying, oh, let's see if he can get his own interview show, but he's only getting 200 views. I mean, it's because y'all not showing it, you're delaying it, or you got hiccups with the feed. They control all that, and that's what I don't like and I don't respect about Instagram.
Because they want you to pay for it, because Instagram is owned by Facebook, and Facebook is now a publicly traded company, and they got these shareholders that they got to answer to. So they want to make sure that they're getting their money's worth. They want you to pay to be seen. So they basically suck the fun out of it. So it's either we got to figure out like what we've been doing with the engagement groups and the giveaways to get your engagement up, to try and work within their little rules that are there. We know they exist, but they're not telling us that they exist. We got to find ways to play nice within that, or move on to the next wave. We got to figure out maybe somebody else, maybe one of us could build an app, design an app, and we all just migrate to that, and then leave Instagram in the toilet. And then when they sink, then they figure out the reasons why.
Yeah, but I think this is kind of what happened to MySpace. Is MySpace wanted to change everything after being free and fun, and then it was like, who wants to use this anymore? But
right.
Facebook now has this option where you literally can comment and you can say bump, the word bump, and it'll bump you up to the top of the comments just so that your comment gets more views and more engagement. And that's crazy. But for people who do not know, if you're like a blog or a public figure or a business account on Instagram, they give you analytics. If you pay close attention to those analytics, you will know exactly when to post to get the maximum amount of engagement. But this changes so much.
Yeah.
And I have been studying my numbers for a very long time, and it's just something that I do now. But within the first hour, you should be posting. Whenever you post, you should have an hour where you're commenting, you're liking your comments, or you're commenting back to people who comment on you. You're posting on your stories. Like that first hour is huge for numbers if you care about likes and numbers for your Instagram.
Right.
It's a lot of work, and the algorithm is changing always. So a lot of people ask me why I'm in engagement groups, and it's honestly because they work. I mean, for engagement, it works, and engagement groups aren't gonna work, so I haven't really been in them. But even if without engagement groups, if you're paying attention to your numbers, if you know when to post and to talk to your followers in your comments, your numbers will go up significantly. Just for people who didn't know,
those are all facts.
That's kind of the
exactly what you said.
Engagement groups, but yeah,
it's like a whole nother job, like bro.
It
like,
is.
And I have a business, but it's like once I start thinking about all of this stuff, it literally gives me a headache, and I don't even want to deal with it. And it sucks being a business because I have to, be out there. But it's like almost like, bro, I just want to shut down my IG and go into a corner and just be there because it's just too much. And like it's like when I don't try, that's when stuff kicks off. Because like now, I try to post more, and like more I don't post. Like I've gotten probably during this quarantine like 1,500 followers. And I'm barely doing anything. But when I was going hard, like I'm gonna post every day and do this and do that, dry.
That's same. I used to post every day, and it just wasn't working out. So now I just kind of post when I'm ready to. But I know what times of the day is better for me to post and not to, for my numbers.
Right.
But even posting every day, people think that that's what you should do, but honestly, if Instagram sees you posting that much, they're gonna flag you or think that you're trying to spam your followers, and then it just doesn't work out in your favor. But then again,
you gotta space them out.
Yeah, and they're continuously changing the algorithm. So once we kind of figure it out, they're like, oh, let's throw a wrench in their plans, and Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm trying to figure mine out to the best way possible, and I haven't figured out the wheel. I just haven't. And as much as we can say, oh, it doesn't bother us, it bothers us. When you know you got a fire post, I'm a human. Like, I know I hit something fire. I'm like, I want that sucker to hit 1,000. I ain't never gonna hit that, but
Right.
I mean,
Especially
you wanted to get the engagement that it deserves, and you sit back and you think about it, and it's just more or less sometimes frustrating because you want to know the reason why stuff is down, and like I do what Hella said, I read my times, but it changes like I was on a schedule before the pandemic. I knew the times, I knew the days, I knew Wednesday was my horrible day. I knew if I can get the boys' picture in there before 7 o'clock, it was straight. I mean, I knew. Now it's like,
Right.
No, it's like I can't figure it out. And I'm trying to figure it out by, not posting as much, posting once or twice a day instead of 3 or 4. And I don't feel the rush to go do it. Because, I mean, I literally throw on shoes and I just throw them on and don't even think about taking a picture anymore because I'm like, it sucks when you're trying to bring something new to somebody. I mean, I try to go out every time I take a post and I want to bring something to your feed, whether it's funny, whether it's heartfelt, whether it's dope pictures of shoes, whether it's Kobe,
Right.
I'm trying to bring something different flavor. And when you don't see the people not liking it, it kind of it makes you think, and it makes you think back, and you be like, man, what? Damn, am I losing a little bit of thunder? And it's really like, nah, you just ain't getting the views that you can get.
But it's really just Instagram.
Once you change over to the creator side, you can see like the reach is terrible. The reach is under 1,000. Like you're not even reaching. You're in it, and you can look at the hashtags. Your hashtag, like I didn't change my hashtag, like, and the hashtags ain't even bringing you attention. So it's like, well, if the hashtags ain't bringing you attention, the time you doing it ain't bringing you attention. Do people like you? You know what I'm saying? You have to think. Those are things that have crossed my mind. I'm human with the situation, but that's the things that's crossed my mind.
And it's crazy because somebody who is dedicated and invests their time, their money, and I mean their time and your money, because you're taking pictures of things that you bought into Instagram. If somebody's trying to make something of this, that can kind of make them defeated, because Instagram just wants you to pay to play, and it's like stop being greedy, like relax the rules a bit, like bring some of the old things back that we like can I get my chronological order back? Like why can't I just go down my feed and see everybody's posts if they posted in time order? Why is Mr. Miller's post from 4 hours ago, why am I just now seeing it? I literally got like a list in my notepad on my phone of all the people that I follow that I want to see their page. Like, okay, I gotta check this page today, see if he posted. Check this page, see if he posted. Like they literally made it a job. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's not
like, and I don't understand why, other than them just being greedy, because now they're owned by Facebook, and Facebook got these shareholders that they gotta please, and they want to make money off of it.
Yeah.
They want you to buy ads and sponsored posts and bump this and pay to do that.
Now we move to TikTok.
We're gonna move into the battle pretty soon, but I want to address the number one hard question that we decided to ask all these people involved in these giveaways. Do you think that participating in these giveaways and telling people to follow you is a backdoored way to buy followers?
Yes and no. Yes and no. That's a yes or no question, because yes, I remember the apps. I still know people that have bought their followers and buy their likes. I know I can name 6 of them off the top of my head right now. That do that have that. So there's a purpose for that. They just want to see themselves look good, and that shows lack of confidence in them. If you can't post a shot, you can't post anything in your life, that you have to pay for something, then you in it for the wrong business.
Yeah.
Now the no to it is we have to everybody. It's a cause and the effect. The cause, I chipped in on this shoot. The effect, all you have to do is follow. The end game with that is you can unfollow me right after. So are we really? Are we really buying followers? Because because we've all okay. I'm not gonna say y'all, but I've seen it where when contests are done, followers drop. They didn't win. Right. I'm gone. So are we really buying followers?
Like,
because they're not sticking. The stick rate,
I think,
is
right.
Go ahead.
Like I agree with you with the yes and no, because like there have been giveaways that I've seen that I'm like, oh, I wanna get in on this giveaway. I would like to win that shoe. And I go through the followers list of the list of people that you got to follow. I'm like, I check all their pages out. Some of them have interesting content, so I think it helps bring new eyes to your feed.
That's what I'm thinking
so
for.
Some of them, the content is interesting, and I'll follow them and keep following them. And then there's some I'm like, oh nah, this is trash on this page, but I'm gonna follow just for this raffle. Right. And as soon as the raffle is over, I'm gonna unfollow. So it depends. If the person that entering into the giveaway sees your page and they're genuinely interested because they haven't seen your page before, but this giveaway brought their eyes to your page, they'll keep following you. And then there's a flip side, like, oh nah, I don't want to see this, so I'm gonna just unfollow.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do my best with a lot of people that do follow me. If you have interesting content, for sure, I'm following you back. Right. And but I'm also what I'm doing with Little Rock Kicks on Deck is if I know they're a sneakerhead, I'm featuring them. So literally, anybody that follows me and I follow them back, and they got sneakers on their page, I'm giving you a feature on my feature page. And they're like, "Oh, you run this? Yeah, I run that." I'm trying to give the love back because I'm in it to meet new people, to get that get my base to where it's a solid amount of people that show love to my page. But it's a gamble because then you don't know if some of these people you follow are they gonna unfollow you. So I mean, I really can't say that it's we're buying them because a lot of them aren't staying. I mean, just a lot of them aren't.
Right.
If you gain 200, if you spitball, and if you gain 200, I guarantee half of them or more than half are gonna leave. Because especially if you do something to impress them, and they got something to watch or something to follow, they'll stay. And then you just got to keep showing the love back. Right. And that's where the disconnect comes in, because you got to be able to show they don't understand that, this is Instagram is about, okay, don't look, hit the like. I'm going to throw a like your way. Yo, you've been hitting me with the like. I'll go back and look at my likes. Okay, let me hit you with this like. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm going to comment. I'm going to do that. But a lot of people don't follow those old school ways that we were all raised upon in Instagram. That's how we were raised in it. Now it's not like that.
Yeah.
Everybody for self.
A lot of what Instagram is for me, it's not for me. This content is not for me. It's for the people who follow me. If the people who follow me don't like my content, then what am I doing on Instagram? I'm not saying that everything I do on Instagram is for my followers, but like for the most part, I have to post content that my followers are going to continue to like. So if you think of it in a way that like you're presenting something to your followers, and if you want to gain followers, you have to keep those followers interested, because a lot of the people that I follow, it's because I've seen them posted by somebody else that I followed. So I followed that person because I like it's kind of an endless loop. So I think, like Miller said, is sharing people's content that you actually like is a good way for them to get their followers up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For me, I always question the intent. Like, what are people's, goals? Like, with me, I have a business. So my goal is I want you to see my stuff because I want you to eventually do business with me, or whatever. Mr. Miller has, and we also have the YouTube show now. So obviously you want people to know about the show, come watch the show. Mr. Miller has his weekly show. So he wants to, have engagement. And also, like you said, you want to lead. If you can get paid from it, cool. And that is typically my big question with like a lot of the people, or some people do giveaways. Like, are you trying to promote your page because you want to get, free stuff and endorsements and sponsorships? Because like, me, like I said, I don't have a 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 is customs. So I have to deal with the public in order to make the money I need to make. But for people who have, a 9 to 5, or, this is not how they eat, what is your end goal? Like, is it a popularity contest? Do you want to be a celebrity? Like, because that's how I feel about, quote unquote, YouTube also. Like, like I said, ShoeTube has never been for me because I don't want to watch someone review a shoe. I'm either going to buy it and look at it myself or not buy it. And I'm not knocking them because, a lot of the people, it has personality. Like, that's why I love Skip. Like, Skip is the type of person who I would think wanted to be some kind of actor or comedian. And, the other day he said when he was in high school, he wanted to be like an actor comedian. And it shows from the way he does his content. So it's like, is there a bigger goal for people like this? Or do you just want to get enough where you can just get checks from YouTube and live off of that? Like, what is the goal? Because at the age I'm at, I'm about to be 38 next month. Like, I feel like I'm a little too old to be trying to be a YouTube sensation or be out here doing TikTok videos. Like, I look crazy, trying to do that.
Not necessarily,
but I mean,
you like to do
each their own. I don't think right. I don't think there's an age limit on it. I think it's just what people want to do. I mean, there is money to be made when it comes to like social media content. So it's all about how much time you want to give into it, put into it, and how hard you want to work for it. I mean, look at what happened with me. Like I had the opportunity to have a relationship with a store that wanted me to feature, up and coming release shoes on my page. They liked the shots that I took, but I didn't have 10K followers at the time for the swipe up feature. So it was an opportunity that was missed for me. I could have been getting the hottest release, the newly released shoes without having to spend my money. All I had to do was just take dope shots and promo it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about what you want to get from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have to be able to. I mean, the end game for the follower thing. I think part of some people, the hardest thing you have to accept when you're in it and are doing raffles and you're getting all these followers in a bunch in a bundle every day, a packet, is understanding there's always going to be a downfall. There just is. The people are going to get tired of it.
Yep.
The people are going to go, I haven't won. And it becomes, and I think some people are afraid to see what their page will look like if you don't do it. I really do think, because you have to think of some people that are doing it on a weekly 365 days a year. They're doing a raffle. At some point, what's your page gonna look like if you just stop for a month?
Right.
That's how you figure out if they consider you don't want to catch the wrong label. Okay, you're walking a thin line between catching the wrong label. And there are genuine people that do it, that really their intent is to really give back. But the problem is, we all have to face it, is saying it's got to stop at some point to allow your page to breathe, to release some of the 0 followers. What happened to Instagram? Everybody remembers that one purge they did, that one major purge. Everybody was like, "Oh, I got 7,000 followers." You woke up, you had 300 followers, and we got to see all them big pages fall. Y'all remember that?
Yo, people was livid.
Remember that?
I was happy.
I remember that.
And Instagram warned y'all. They said, if you got all these fake pages, all these fake followers, we gonna expose you. And it wiped everybody out. Wiped them out. Everybody was sitting there with their pants down.
I only lost 150 followers.
Yeah, I was like, I only lost like 200 or 300. But I saw some folks that was like 15 strong. They was like at 5. What you been doing?
Right.
So
that was the best day of Instagram, I swear.
Yeah, that was the best. A lot of people.
Because I think I dropped like 500, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm good. But the thing is these raffles is that you walk a fine line between becoming gimmicky and doing something for the community. Because I believe,
right,
speaking for J Soul, I'm gonna speak for him, and he wants to help people. Like he's grabbing people that I would have never followed, and he's bringing them to the forefront with these raffles because he wants them to be seen. He sees some good in them. But the problem is that, you know, in some cases, some people are like, okay, what is it that you're bringing to the table? How much of it is real? Now, and that's what it comes down. And you're gonna have to understand that when you do it, is you're gonna walk a thin line between, okay, am I this, but I'm really trying to be this, but this has got to show you. There's a fine line you have to do it. But I know, speaking to him and watching some of the raffles, majority of the raffles that I go through him, he generally is trying to help people. But I understand, and I'm very sympathetic to people that say, nah, man, that's gimmicky. You know, he just keeps doing it and doing it. He's not doing that to because it's him, but that he has to be the figurehead of it because he brings authenticity to the raffle. So, and that's what we want. When you look at me, I don't want you to look at me like, man, he just does his raffles every week. Okay. All right. I don't want you to do that. I want you to remember something else. When you mention my name, I want you to think of something else. And that's a hard thing to do with these raffles. It's a very fine line we have to walk. And for me, like I said, I'm taking a step back from it just to let my account breed. If I lose 1,000 followers, I lose them. But if I keep them and I go up on my own, then I'm cool. Then I know I'm solidified in what it is. So it's just a fine line we have to walk.
I mean, I know J Soul. I've had dinner with him, you know, when I went to Atlanta and stuff like that. And I think he's a great guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I did start to question a little bit his intentions or the validity of his raffles once he started entering his wife and his son. Because I've never, like, you know, I did sneakers for him and his wife, but I never known them to have pages. And, you know, what?
I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking. I just want the viewers to know that we did ask J Soul to be on the show or even answer the questions, and he declined, and that's his prerogative. But just so everybody knows, it's kind of synonymous, like J Soul giveaways. That's the consensus I got when I was asking people questions about these giveaways.
Right.
But because I just want you to know we did reach out. We did reach out to him. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because when I look at his wife and his son, I don't know how long their page has been around, but they already have more followers than Dani, you know, who, you know, just hit 10K not too long ago. And I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's a little odd to me. I'm not going to say it's not authentic because I don't know that, which is why we wanted to get him on here to ask him about that. But, you know, like I asked a couple of people questions about, like, you know, so my question with the raffles was, all right, if you're doing a raffle and you don't have a designated size, like how I did, I'm doing the raffle for the Sakai's. So I have to account for the most expensive, you know, if the most expensive size is 700, I have to make sure I can make that, even though I might not, you know, I might not have to buy that size. Maybe the size I get is 300. So what I wonder is, so if say the most expensive size, say you guys are doing the Royal Toe 1 for a raffle, and the most expensive size that can be won is 500. So you guys all put in the amount to equal up to 500. Now, if the winner wins like a size 10 and it's only 250, what happens to that excess money? Do you guys get it back? Does it sit for the next raffle?
Yeah, well, I definitely here's the thing. I mean, I didn't know if you had asked him because I mean, you know me, y'all know me. I'm open about everything. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. His intent with the raffle has always been given to me as to help out, to get you to a certain point, and that was always his intent. When it comes to it. I saw he had his son, and I think his son is removed for a really good reason. I'm not going to bring that up because that's not my place. But and then his wife, and I don't have a problem with, you know, you can't make the opinion about you can't forge your opinion about yourself. I can't make you think of me in a certain way. That's not up to me. You have to judge me off that. So when you say that, I understand where you're coming from. I can never judge a man's intentions at all. I can't judge it just because I don't think I haven't talked to him about it. At least I want to gauge it. Now, did I think it was something that it was kind of interesting? Yeah, I did, but that's his own prerogative. When he wants to, you want to add your wife, and then his wife, jumps up and has more followers, like you said. I mean, I didn't even have that for my son at all. My son had his own page, and I just kind of stopped because it was like I just posted on mine. So
yeah,
I get. I don't think it should. I don't. I think
too much.
Yeah, I mean, but I will say this about him is that he's been authentic and real to me from day one. He just has. And I see your whole point by saying, man, what is your point? Like, you got this, you're doing this a lot. Right. And I think he just genuinely, I'm speaking from my experience only, not to sugarcoat it or to give him an excuse. I genuinely think he wants to help. But like I said, you gotta at some point you gotta let your account breathe. Right. Because I met J Soul in Atlanta. The year I wore my what the Prestos. I met him briefly, and I was meeting so many people. I said I didn't remember him, and I said my bad, and I felt bad because I try to remember everybody.
He's really quiet to himself.
Yeah, but I remember following him, and I'm like, no, you didn't have a lot of follow. And then next thing when I started seeing him, he was. Next thing I know, he's pushing 40. I was like, whoa. And then I saw. So I never questioned it. I'm not going to question any man's pockets or any man's how he does his business. But you have to be a big boy about the situation and understand you're going to have there is some blowback. There is some blowback to that. And I think I would on here, honestly, because I think he could have explained it better than I could. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm a realist. Like I've been in this game longer than him, and I understand you're gonna get that. Like that's the nature of the beast. Like you're gonna get people questioning who you are, what you in it for. You're gonna get people that I know that I ain't talked a word on the side. I know when you have 40 pairs of shoes. Now you sitting above 200 and you think you run something. Nobody. I remember you when you had 40 pairs of shoes. You can't buy respect with me at all. That'll never happen. If you in it and you a real sneakerhead, then you rock it. You got my respect out the gate. But don't ever come around me and think that I know your history. And the same thing goes for followers. Yeah. I don't care if you got 3,000 or you got 1,000. I respect you just the same. And I think that's what it has to get back to. Is understanding and being real with the situation and not running from it in a sense that, you ducking it, but but you got to face it. If you don't accept that part of the game, then the game's going to get rougher for you when they stop stuff like this. Because at some point, I want to be known for something in this game. I want to be known. And I'm not saying not being known for that is bad, but I also want to be known for more. You can't add to your resume. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, I think you need to be able to be conscious of that. And I hope that he does come back and says something. Because I really do think he can bring more of his intentions to the light. And I don't think he should be afraid of that. Right. I mean, you ladies you're not beating down my block. I mean, you're not, well, why did you do this? I mean, y'all are professional about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
We can't
it.
About it.
I'm like, nah.
Right.
And I think, because I think that, he's probably caught the most just because he's the first person you think of. I mean, it just is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it gets old for him probably. Mm-hmm. But if I ever spoke to him again, I probably will. We talk. Mm-hmm. I tell him, like, you got to be able to face this head on. Like, don't run from it, because people just gonna that myth is gonna grow.
But I think having this live to come back to, if he watches it, I think he'll know that our intentions weren't to be like, hey, you're wrong, or whatever you're doing is kind of suspect. It's not. honestly, we just want to know the story.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he can come back to this and just see that it wasn't probably what he was thinking. But everybody will come out and say what they have to say in their own time, and that we understand that. So we didn't take it personal when, I don't know if Dani got a response, but, it wasn't something we took personal. We had other people who were willing to speak about it, and we presented what they had to say along with Mr. Miller. So,
yeah, I mean, I definitely, listen, this platform, when we're building platforms, we have to disagree. We have to have challenging conversations. We have to be able to literally look a person in the eye and say, I need you to explain this to me. It is your responsibility, all of our responsibilities as influencers, as we are, all you ladies, all three, I consider you influencers. We have a responsibility to be as truthful and to be as honest as we can when we're on this platform.
Yep.
What a lot of people don't understand is that this is all we have. If our word is tarnished, our rep is tarnished, it's a wrap for us. We can't get that back in this day and age. We've gone too far to get it back. And to know that, you guys are wanting to figure it out, I hope this reaches more platforms for people to look at it and come see our conversation and say, I didn't know this about that. Or I kind of get a better understanding. Or how do y'all pick it? All right, we'll show you. I'm as transparent as they can be. And I think that's what made the raffles have a bad name. It wasn't transparent. It wasn't showing the winner. That when
did they even do the picker?
Okay. No. Well, when that happened, I knew what they were talking about. You didn't have to say. I was like, I already know. I already know who run it. And they didn't make it. It wasn't. I even brought it up to their attention. I said, look, y'all better start showing. Just a word of advice. They didn't take it because they went some more and they did it again. But when I got involved with it, and me and Greg, laced differently, we talked about it. Like, they hit us up at the same time. We was like, man, we already know what's coming, right? Yeah, I know it's coming. And we was like, yo, this is one thing I gotta have. And that was fine. And they've abided by that. And I don't know if I brought that to the forefront. Because there's not anybody that's doing this, they're not putting it on their page. They're putting it in their story, which is gonna be the problem. Because you're never gonna be able to have receipts. Receipts is posted on your page, leave it on there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Don't put no hashtags on it, just post it. It's not gonna hurt you. But it is your receipt to show your authenticity of that group.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. So that's the level of expectation I brought to raffling. Is I'm posting that on my page. Not as a story, as an actual post. And it stays on there.
Right. Right. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. And I think this is a good way for people to understand giveaways better. I think it's a place for people. I think our YouTube in general is a place for people to come and be able to have their opinions and be able to respectfully discuss, and that's how we came up with, the MatureKids is we like to discuss these things all the time. We discuss random things, but we do it in a manner that is respectful to other people's opinion. And we always tell people, just because I have an opinion doesn't mean that Dani's going to agree with it, or just because Word has an opinion doesn't mean that me and Dani are going to agree with it, because all the time we're going at each other and we're like, no. But I think that's a great dynamic to have, is when you feel comfortable enough to come to people saying your opinion and not have to, get all this negative feedback or, people saying, well, I can't believe she said that. But yeah, I think this was a really good discussion.
Yeah, it's not personal. Sure. I mean, I think this think about it, guys. It's about shoes. At the end of the day, this is about shoes. Right. Let's not take it all seriousness. I mean, we should be serious when we have our conversations, but in all seriousness, it's shoes. Mm-hmm. We're all in the love. We're all in it for the love of the game. We're all in it for the love of a sneaker and that next win. That's what we're in it for.
Yep.
And I think that makes us better if we can have mature conversations about situations we either don't understand or not be afraid to say, I challenge that. I don't like what y'all doing. Explain it to me. If you can't stand in the arena to take that, then you should never be in that arena anyways. Because I mean, you have to assess everything that you do. I'm a calculated guy. I calculate everything I do in my life. But I'm not, and so I know when I logged on and did these raffles, I accepted the challenge. Just certain things is gonna happen. Certain things is gonna be brought up. Certain questions gonna have to be answered. And if you don't want to answer that, I mean that's on you. But I don't think you should be afraid, because we can all look at each other's page and see the love, the respect, and that we have for one another in the community, and that's not coming from a bad place. These questions aren't coming from a negative. Doesn't have a negative intention with it. It's just you need to be as transparent in the game. That brings more authenticity to you. If you can sit there and take heat or answer these questions, I'm gonna respect you more than that you ask it, and you gonna respect me more because I sat there and I answered it.
Yep.
Right. Yep. No lies told. No lies.
So much, Mr. Miller, for coming on tonight. We appreciate it.
No problem. I thank you for the invite.
I am hella laced.
Before we tune out, because I didn't get to show these, I'm Word Customs, of course, the head designer over at MatureKids Inc. And just because we haven't hit the point of being able to take donos yet, but I do the little Soul Survivor battle. We give away stuff and stuff like that. So in order for us to not just be coming out of pocket all the time, I came up with like a dope idea to make these little hang tags that you can put on keychains. You can put it on your shoes or whatever. But we have two different ones. The MatureKids, and then we have the Rugrats version. Nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna throw these on the site, but you could also hit any of us three. I'm gonna just make them $5, include shipping and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So hit us up. They're limited. I think I made 50 of each. So hit us up. I'm gonna throw them up on the site, MatureKids Clothing, and you guys can help us out with those. It's a form of a dono, but you get something back as an appreciation, from us. So
nice.
Go ahead, Mr. Miller. Let everybody know where they can find you. I do also have your stuff linked in the description box.
Appreciate it. Yo, this is your boy, Mr. Miller, always checking in live for the Basement of Miller's Corner. You can always catch me. Feature pages, Little Rock Kicks on Deck, just featuring small upcoming pages. I've got a weekly show with, I got a jam-packed week coming up this week, but I do a weekly live show with a certain guest. I've had all three of you young ladies on. You can go back and watch the actual interview on my page, on my IGTV, see what we're talking about. I love to bring light to different things, and I bring up a different subject matter every time I talk to somebody. So I'm in it for the culture. Y'all want to see some cute kids and a cute dog? Come holler at
me. An adorable dog.
I love the family pics. I love the family pics. I love the doggy pics. I love the boys.
Yeah, so I gotta get back posting the boys. Them. Yeah, I know everybody missing them. So, but they still alive. If y'all want them, we're gonna send them up there.
And last but not least,
thank you, ladies, man. Thank you.
Oh, last but not least is me, Dani, aka Caramel Wonder. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. Twitter, just my random musings, things that come to my head, and I just tweet. You can also find me on Facebook as Dani Nicole. So if you want to look for me there, I'm there. And I am the tie-dye-preneur. I got socks for sale. I got t-shirts for sale, all tie-dye. I got earrings for sale. So whatever you need, I got you. Link is in the bio. Go ahead and make your purchase, and I'm out.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Who you calling the